In this video, we'll go over autosave to text. We have a couple options when autosaving to text. We can change the notation between scientific and floating point, and then using the decimal places option, change the digits of precision. We can select how the data is separated, with tabs, commas, or spaces, or a user-defined character. One thing to note is Xaxis data is always saved once. If you're appending to the same text file and the x-axis is constant, you can leave the x-axis unchecked to append only the y and z data per sequence run. So I'll open up this autosave step and select Fundamental, Harmonic 2, and 3. I have text selected, and here are my options. I save the sequence now, and I get a text file output. It was saved in the default folder, so it's in SoundCheck Data. Here's the standard header at top, telling what type of data we have saved. This exists for all three pieces of data we selected. We also have the serial number, which we enabled here. I'll just make a couple changes here. Switch the layout to columns, add in a custom header of ABC, and switch the notation to scientific. I'll delete the old one and run the step again. If I wanted to save the phase of these curves, I would enable the z-axis. You could also change the delimiter to anything that we have available here, or select Other, and manually type in a character. Whatever character you type in will be the character that separates the pieces of data. Now let's look at a text file with only one curve being saved, but multiple runs of that curve. I'll select only the fundamental and change the file to append instead of overwrite. When you look at it here, you can see I have the X, Y, and Z curves. I'll rerun the sequence a couple of times and append the fundamental data to this text file. You can see here it wrote the x-axis 3 times. Because the x-axis doesn't change and the frequency will always be the same, we can uncheck this x-axis box. Now when we look at this text file, the x-axis is still written the first time we run the sequence, but then every subsequent run will only save the y and the z data. And since the y and the z are the only things that change between runs, that's all that I care about. In the next video, we'll look at autosaving to WAV files. the end of this sequence, I'm going to add an autosave save data to text step. For this, we can add in data. And I'm just going to select a number. I'm going to select a number of I'll select a number of pieces of data. I'll select some curves here and make sure I have text selected.